Today on Cody in the Cinema, I've got 3 Criterion Collection films, recommendations for you from the 2010s. I really want you to see these if you haven't. And let me know in the comments how you feel about any of these films you've already seen, what you liked, what you didn't like. Certain Women, 2016 is my first pick here. This is filmed in the American West, presumably Montana. It's a really pretty film in that way. And I do love my Westerns, as you can probably tell from my poster back there. Now, this is really 3 stories, vignettes, however you want to look at this. And I would say that they're not even, each of these, but altogether they make for a pretty good film. The first story, which is pretty good, this lawyer has a really annoying client, and that's a cool story with Laura Dern. Really liked her as the lawyer there, a theme we're going to come back to. The second story, and a story that I wish had a little bit more, I don't know if you want to say like oomph to it or more meat to it, but still kind of good, is a story about Michelle Williams as a wife and a mother who's trying to work on a new home, and the marriage isn't going so well. And that in some ways relates back to the first story. In the third story, which might be the best, it's definitely an emotional, kind of touching story. There's this woman played by Kristen Stewart who's a young night school teacher. And this farmhand, played by Lily Gladstone, who you might recognize from Killers of the Flower Moon, sort of just shows up in her class. And they develop kind of a close bond, and then you get to see where that leads. And all 3 of these are supposed to have that, I think they're supposed to kind of come together as this really tight story. But they don't completely do that. But what they are good at is great performances and sort of demonstrating how these women in society are in their own little prisons, their own little boxes in the wide open Montana sky. It's a cool movie, especially if you like Western stuff. Give it a watch. I would probably pick this up if it was like at a thrift store for $5 or $10 as a physical copy. I don't know if I'd pay the full $20, but it's definitely worth seeing, okay? The second movie is one I would just like to own in the collection. From 2019, Noah Baumbach's Marriage Story. Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson, he's a director, she's an actor. There's some tension between where they live. Should they live in New York? Should they live on the other side of the country? It has a big cast as they're working through this divorce, including Ray Liotta as a lawyer, Laura Dern as a lawyer. I think she actually won an award for that. And it's really one of those films where the actors kind of lay it on the table and do a good job and give you some really heart-wrenching scenes. Like, it's a tough film to watch. It's an entertaining film, and I do think that Laura Dern, that aggressive character that she plays, is so interesting, particularly matched against Ray Liotta. It's funny how they're kind of like pretending like they're friends and they're not. It's like this really fun ripple to the film. But those screaming matches between Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, like it's ugly. Like it's not. I've only watched it once, and I really don't think I could watch it again. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't actually want a copy, but I kind of want to see it again. But I remember how hard it was to watch. But it's just a really good movie. And another movie that has that emotional tenderness that really draws you in, and makes you feel such empathy for the characters. This is from 2019. Sound of Metal. I was a little hesitant to watch this movie, but I really loved it whenever I saw it. Criterion says it's a tale of sound, fury, and self-discovery. Now this guy, this musician in this metal, he's doing this metal music. He has a girlfriend played by Olivia Cooke, who you probably recognize from a few different things. I think she's in the HBO show House of the Dragons. They're touring, they're doing this stuff, and his hearing just like starts going out. And the whole film is him dealing with a severe loss of hearing, trying to keep whatever hearing he has left, deal with how that clashes with his immediate love of music. He's in this sort of community, without giving away too many spoilers, because he has some other problems that you'll notice as it goes along that he has to work through. I think that and it talks about this here in the Criterion description, the sound design, like it really draws you in to that fear, to that terror. It's a nightmare in a way, it's parts of this film are just anxiety inducing, and it feels a little bit like a horror, like a soft horror movie. And it's such a convincing performance. And I was looking at a clip again today, a couple of clips, and I was like, really wanting a copy of this. See, I don't have a copy of any of these, but I've seen them and I really enjoyed each one. And I would say about in that order that I mentioned, as far as how much I like them, probably like Sound of Metal the most, especially for the representation there. And for anybody who has ever struggled with hearing, I think it's really cool that that's in the collection. So these were three that were kind of on my mind as, and these are all from the 2010s. Let's talk about them on the channel. Anyway, tell me your recommendations in the comments from the 2010s. I want to know. That's a decade I'm sort of weak on, and I'm like, I want to know more. So if you would do that, click the like button and subscribe to Cody in the Cinema.